officials on the safety of Ohioans who have returned home. Listen.
Look, I think that I would be drinking the bottled water, and I would be continuing to find out what the tests were showing as far as the air.
We have no indication that the municipal water supply is not safe. However, we do have testing that is pending, and I think it's a relatively easy thing to do to use bottled water for a short window of time.
But we spoke with residents who evacuated East Palestine, and they say their symptoms are bad enough that they are debating even going back for the town hall tonight.
Last night, I had my lips returning colors. They were like polka dotted, and I was getting bright red patches on my face. And that was probably about 6 hours after I was already gone from my house.
We had gone back to grab a couple of our things, and I can't stay in the town longer than an hour before I have a giant migraine. So kind of debating the pros and the cons to see if it's even worth it to come back.
Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg tweeting again yesterday after being criticized for his silence on the disaster. He posted a chain highlighting his department's work on rail safety and touting other infrastructure and regulation policies. But residents want answers, and they're hoping to get some tonight at that town hall, which starts at 7 p.m. Guys.
Brooks Ingman, thank you. We're going to bring in Ohio Congressman Brad Wenstrup. You just heard Brooks' report there that town hall starts tonight at 7 p.m. Will there be any answers given to these people who deserve more information than they're getting, because no one is really talking about this, and these people, they deserve answers because this is a complete and total disaster?
Well, they deserve answers, and they deserve guidance based on facts on the ground. And, they're coming forward and talking about symptoms that they're having, and I think that's important. I guess, on the positive side, no lives were lost immediately in this, but that doesn't change concern for the health of all the residents in the area. And so the details of everything need to be investigated and be very transparent about it in the process, and then be able to remediate the health issues, the environmental issues, the effects on wildlife. All of these things need to be remediated. I was glad to see the governor involved there. The governor with the Army Corps of Engineers are having oversight over what the water supply, doing all that they can, but the people, they have to have their food and water supply be safe for them, and also their air. And so the National Transportation Safety Board, it's their obligation to investigate these accidents. And look, rail is relatively safe. It's been reported 99% of hazardous material makes it safely to their destination. But this is that 1%, and action has to be taken. The goal is 100%, but action has to be taken. I know Norfolk Southern has engaged. That they released $1.2 million to try and help make people whole in their communities for all the inconveniences and damages that may have occurred to them, and I think that's important. But people have to be assured that the air is okay. And on the 8th of February, they were told to return to their homes, that it was safe. Let's continue to monitor that. The groundwater and the soil and the air, it's all very important. In the meantime, take care of the people that are being affected by this.
You heard the guest that I interviewed say, where's this money? I mean, we understand that there's allegedly money out there, but where is it? I want to focus on your experience as a doctor, because, I mean, the medical aspect of this is frightening. Are you confident that there won't be any long-term consequences from the air that you mentioned, from the water that you mentioned, especially when you have these animals, canaries in the coal mine, if you will, just dropping dead?
No, I'm not confident. Obviously these are toxic materials, and they did what I consider probably a smart thing to do, which is a controlled release rather than having a large explosion. So they manage things in that way. But all the while, this is a toxic event, and we have to recognize it as that. Long-term side effects from the amount of exposure that someone may get is yet to be determined. And so I want to make sure that every health modality is available to people so that they can be taken care of safely when a situation like this occurs. And this may have some long-term side effects or some short-term side effects, and that needs to be investigated every step of the way. But in the meantime, make sure we have people out of harm's way.
Right, but in the grand scheme of things, when you think about $1.2 million for all of these people who are going to be affected, I mean, that really doesn't seem like that much money.
No, it doesn't, and maybe that's just a start.
Yeah.
I think the assistance maybe need to come from a lot of places because certainly there's some liability involved. Look, I was told that this was a wheel bearing that overheated. Well, why did it overheat?
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know, was it not maintained properly? Those are things that need to be investigated as well.
A lot of questions. Also, where's the EPA? Seems like they're really focused on selling solar panels when this should be right in their wheelhouse, you know? Congressman Brad Wenstrup, we appreciate your time and insight.